Let's turn our attention to the governor's race. Bill Lee has won the race for governor of Tennessee. He received 60% of the votes, while Democrat Karl Dean won 38%. Matthew Torres has spent the evening with the Dean campaign, while Emily Luxon is with the Lean campaign. We're going to start with Emily, live in Franklin.
Well, the celebration started early here and have not stopped. There is still a crowd here, and Bill Lee has been here working the room, thanking all of his supporters. He literally just walked out about a minute ago. Now, once this race was called, Lee was surrounded by his family as he addressed about 2,000 supporters here at the factory at Franklin. He stuck with a positive message that he has used throughout the campaign. He called for unity in the state and even addressed people who didn't vote for him, saying he wants to be the governor of all Tennesseans. He says his top priorities will be the same things he's talked a lot about on the campaign trail: economic development in rural areas, creating safer neighborhoods, and improving schools. He admitted that Tennessee has some challenges ahead and there is more work to be done, but he's optimistic the future is bright for the volunteer state.
Thank you for trusting me with your vote. Thank you for believing in a positive vision for the state of Tennessee. Thank you for believing that we can take this state from good to great. It's a tremendous, humbling honor to be your next governor of the state of Tennessee.
Now, Bill Lee says he will focus on putting his team together. He made a point to say he was open to including people from both parties in an effort to unite the state. He will be sworn in as governor in January. Reporting live in Franklin, Emily Luxon, News Channel 5.
Emily, thank you. Current Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam released this statement tonight congratulating Bill Lee. He says Tennesseans have made a great choice for our next governor. Bill Lee is a man with strong character and love for our state and will make the right decisions to keep Tennessee moving forward. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres is with Karl Dean's campaign. He continues our election 2018 team coverage. Matthew.
Well, Carrie, Karl Dean just stepped out of the building. Some of his supporters are still sticking around. Now, what's interesting is despite Bill Lee giving his victory speech early on in this evening, his campaign refused to concede until they got the results from Davidson and Shelby counties. But even then, it wasn't enough to beat the tremendous lead from Bill Lee. Dean addressed his supporters during his speech, clearly and understandably disappointed by the outcome.
It didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, it just reminds me of something that Adlai Stevenson said when he lost an election to Dwight Eisenhower. He was sort of paraphrasing Abraham Lincoln, and he said, "This is sort of like I feel like a child who has stubbed their toe in the middle of the night. I'm too old to cry, and it hurts too much to laugh." So.
Dean also congratulated Lee during his speech and said he would show his support. He also thanked his campaign team, wife, and children. His time as Nashville's mayor was not enough to make a dent in this race. He couldn't say exactly what he would change differently, but it is something he would think about for days to come. Dean was proud to have run a positive race, pushing for better education, economy, and access to health care. He encourages Lee to have good people around him and also gave him this advice.
My advice, if you would ask, would be that I would try to bring people together. I would try to be somebody who said, you know, I don't necessarily have all the answers and I don't know how everybody ought to be treated, but I know that everybody in Tennessee ought to be treated with respect and dignity, and we ought to be a lot more inclusive than we've been.
So what's next? He says he would like to rest and also get back to normal life after traveling to each county of the state. He ended his speech by saying Tennessee's best days are still to come. Reporting live in West Nashville, Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.